Well, hello, my friends. Welcome back to the Monday Fire podcast, part of the Jennifer Allwood Show. It's become my favorite because it's fast, it's quick. I feel like it's hopefully powerful, and you guys have just responded so greatly to these Monday Fires. So I love that we're going to continue doing them for the foreseeable future. So I feel like I've got a word from the Lord for some of you today. I was out walking recently. The truth is, I used to run all the time, friends. I used to run. I started running when I was 30 to try to take off baby weight. And it's been several years ago now that I hurt my IT band and I can no longer run. So now I walk. Sometimes I wog, which is a walk jog, but I've been doing a lot of wogging because I find that when I'm outside, my brain just works better. Some of my brain fog lifts. I feel like I'm doing something that my body is grateful for, and it helps me to really kind of clear my mind, which I desperately need. It also helps me get out of the house because we've got so many little people and dogs and noise and commotion. And as an introvert, I just got to get out. So I was walking the other day and thinking and praying, and I heard the Lord say, "Winter is coming," and I didn't like hearing like the audible voice from heaven. Like it's never like that for me. It's just really like just it's in my brain, it's in my head. It's like when you get a thought, like maybe I should turn here instead of going to my normal exit, or I should call my grandma. It's like that. So I just got the thought, winter is coming, and I was like, ooh, eek, Lord. And it reminded me. I knew that it was from some like Netflix series, so I googled it. It's from the Game of Thrones, which I have not watched. Like no condemnation to anybody that has. I don't have any idea what it's even about. So I heard the winter is coming, and I was like, okay, Lord, what are you meaning about that? And I was thinking about how I posted something on my Instagram this week. And I want to read to you what I had posted on my Instagram because I'm recording this on September the 1st. And over the weekend, I was thinking to myself, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's already going to be September. Like, where's the year even going? It's simultaneously the longest year in the history of years, right? And it's also like flown by. And so here's what I put on my Instagram, just my regular Jennifer Allwood Instagram, not my new home account, but just the Jennifer Allwood. I put, here's the truth. I love fall. It's my absolute favorite season of the year. Normally, I cannot wait for cooler temperatures and the holidays. But this year, the idea of cold, gloomy weather coming, plus the potential of more lockdowns, plus the possibility of school closing, plus the world being nuts, plus so much division with the election. It just feels like forever away, and I just can't wait for all of this to be behind this. And this has got me feeling really anxious about fall coming. I'm having to remind myself that God is not shocked nor wringing his hands over the state of the world. He is still on the throne and fully on control. I'm working literally on my breathing this weekend, my mental well-being, focusing on what I can't control, being grateful for all I have, and trying to stop the what ifs in my mind. And I posted that on my stories, and you guys, I had 100 of you that day reach out and be like, oh my gosh, me too. I normally love fall and I normally love the holidays, but I'm feeling super anxious. And I thought it was interesting that the Lord gave me the words, winter is coming, right about the same time that I was posting that on Instagram. They were within just a couple of days of each other. And I knew that I was like starting to feel a little bit dreadful, like dreading the changing of the seasons. Our kids are finally going back to school next week. And by going back to school, I mean, they've been home since March. 2 of my 4 kids are home right now because they've been exposed to coronavirus. They have not, nobody's sick at our house or anything like that, but they've had exposure. So they're having to be home, and it just feels like a hot stinking mess. Right. And so the knowing that our seasons are about to change, and that winter is coming, it kind of is like perpetuating some anxiety down deep in my soul. And so I was thinking about what I heard the Lord say, that winter is coming. And then I was thinking about, and God was reminding me of the story of the ants in the Bible. And I'm going to read just this line in the Bible to you. It's from Proverbs 6:6, and it's, go to the ant, you sluggard. You don't love how like God doesn't mince words. Like, go watch the ants, you lazy piece. That's paraphrasing for 2020. Consider her ways and be wise. She provides her supplies in the summer, and she gathers her food in the harvest. And so I was thinking, okay, Lord, why are you wanting me to watch the ants? And here's what I was thinking. The ants are really good at working ahead and planning for what's coming. They use the summer to gather and to store up. and to prepare for the winter. And during the winter, like they have to conserve their energy. They don't have as much food to eat. They have to rely on what they stored up in the summertime. And I was thinking about how this summertime for me has perhaps given me just a little bit of a false sense of security, right? Because the kids are home, we're floating around the pool. I'm out taking walks every day with my husband. The weather is lovely. It's, September 1st in Kansas City, and I'm wearing a sweatshirt. If you're watching me on YouTube right now, it looks like sherbet ice cream, this tie-dye does, and I'm totally here for it. And so, so I've got this, like, we're all home. I know the world is crazy, but we're still like, I'm still seeing my friends on the weekends. We're still going to church when we can. Like, there's this false sense kind of security, almost like for me, a little bit of a psychological safety. If you read Fear's Not the Boss of You, you probably know how important safety is to me. I'm a high S on the DISC personality profile, so I don't like any drama at all. I don't like any ups and downs. I really like to know what's coming down the pipe. I really do. I don't like surprises. I don't like being thrown into a quarantine. I don't like everything getting shut down. Like, who does, right? I mean, there's nobody that does. But psychological safety is a real thing for me. And just thinking that I'm safe, even if I'm maybe not necessarily am, but just like if I feel safe in my brain, like everything just feels better to me. And so when I'm hearing the Lord say winter is coming, I'm feeling the opposite, quite frankly, of psychological safety. It feels like perhaps going into battle. It feels like perhaps, getting ready for whatever God may allow to be thrown our way, honestly. If you want me to paraphrase, it feels like perhaps needing to prepare for crazy. I don't know. Who only knows what's going to happen, you guys, in the days and weeks and months ahead. I stick by what I say, though. The Lord is not up there wringing his hands. He is not freaking out about the state of the world. He is still in control, still on the throne. So with that being said, as I've prayed about it and I've been thinking about it, and the winter is coming, and if God's telling me, watch the ants, I was thinking, okay, the ants they're literally storing food. But what could that look like for us? What could that look like for me? What could that look like for you if you two are like, oh my gosh, I just can't even handle the idea of going back into winter, and perhaps holidays being canceled and school being canceled, and life getting put on hold again, and feeling separated from friends and family, and the chaos of the election, and what is that even going to look like? And if you two are feeling those same things, I think what I was feeling like the Lord was impressing on me is to not be gathering physical food. I mean, yes, do I want to gather raw chocolate chip cookie dough and popcorn with M&Ms inside of it, because I figured out that over quarantine? That's a magical combination. That's not going to serve me. But what could I gather that would serve me? What could I be storing up right now that is going to serve me in the winter months? What could I be collecting? Okay, I could be collecting peace. What does that look like? Well, it looks like really getting myself to a place where I feel at peace emotionally and mentally. That means for me, like getting into the Word of God. That means getting out and exercising. That means resting. That means taking some time for self-care. I think we can also look at the ants, and the ants are planners. They have a plan. I think part of what happened in the spring is that none of us had any idea that the things were going to be able to happen, like the shutting down of businesses and the kids being, everything canceled, graduation canceled, prom canceled. I could go on and on. The graduation ceremony canceled, the kids' sports canceled. Like, none of us even thought in the beginning that was possible, right? So now I think we're wise, right? Now we're like, okay. And it even talks about consider the ants' ways and be wise. Now we're wise, and we're like, okay. Just when we think it can't get crazier, like we know now it can get crazier. Just when we think like it can't get any worse, we know now that perhaps things could change. And so what it looks like, I think, for us now, if we're to look at the ants, is let's maybe plan on, now we at least know, okay, back in March, we had no idea. And we were all reacting to announcements and lockdowns and shutdowns, and just kind of flying by the seat of our pants. Well, now we have some time to plan. If school gets canceled, now I've had time to plan, and I've had time to think about it. What's going to be our plan B? And let me tell you that having a plan B right now gives me some psychological safety that I really desperately need. Jason and I have already got a plan in terms of if college gets canceled, the kids all get sent home from school, we're going to go somewhere that's not here at the house and go somewhere as a family and hunker down if they're all able to remotely learn. That makes me feel like we have a plan. It might be a last minute, but at least makes me feel like, okay, we are at least like looking ahead. If A happens, then at least we have B as a backup plan. If first grade gets canceled, we at least know that we're going to put together a learning pod with some other families and grab a teacher. And we at least are like thinking through some things, which gives me this feeling of psychological safety that makes me look at winter without this feeling of dread. Instead, I can almost reframe it in my mind. And I'm all about reframing, to think of it not from an exciting point of view, but just now we know more, friends, than we did in March. Now we know more. Now we know, okay, X, Y, and Z could potentially happen. So we can almost like bolster ourselves. Is that the word? I don't know. Like beefing ourselves, fatten ourselves up, gird ourselves with the things that are going to get us through these winter months. We can really be, fattening ourselves up with some peace and with some rest and with spending time in the Word and spending time with the Lord. And we can have a plan B that'll give us the psychological safety that, for me, as soon as I tried to reframe that in my brain this weekend, it helped me to look at a September month without that pit in my belly of thinking, oh crap, what's even about to happen in the next few months? So listen, friends, if you're at home right now or sitting in your car or on your way to the gym and you're thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, like the world has gone absolutely crazy. Yeah, maybe it has. But can you look at the ants and can you figure out like what can we learn from them? What can we plan for? What can we store up right now that's going to get you through some leaner months? I think it's important, especially for those of you that are like me who don't like surprises, you don't like fluctuations, you don't like a lot of change, you don't like bombs being dropped on you, not literal, figuratively, or literal, I guess, but not that I'm anticipating that. But I'm going to encourage you today to just start preparing for winter, and not necessarily even winter on the calendar, but almost like the psychological winter. Because I know for me, I can't go back mentally to where I went in my mind in March and April. It wasn't a good place. I didn't serve my community well. I didn't serve you, my audience, well. I didn't serve my family well. I was very reactive. I was very, in a state of grieving a whole lot of things. And while there's a time and a place for all of that, there's also a time and a place to pull up your big girl panties and get ready for what's ahead. And I don't know what that is, and neither do you, but I encourage you just to prepare in your mind and spiritually so that you're ready for whatever is about to come our way. So I hope that's helpful today. I know that the Lord asked me to deliver that very specifically. And so I know that that's a word of encouragement for somebody today. And if that's you, if you would share this on Instagram and tag me so I see it. I see every single Instagram post you guys do where you tag me. I see every DM. So thank you for that. But if this was a word that's ministering to your soul, let me know. I also have a word that the Lord gave me about spiders. And I'm like, okay, God, I'm a girly girl, right? Like you're asking me to talk about ants and spiders. And I would really rather talk about like glitter and earrings. And so if you could at all kind of change your strategy, God, like I'd be here for it. But so anyhow, yeah, we're talking about ants today. We'll see if I am supposed to deliver the word about spiders next week. So stay tuned. Thanks so much for being here today. Bless you, my friend. We're all going to make it. Bye-bye.